Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at what the Cardano price is doing, also what Bitcoin is doing, and we start straight away. Right, Bitcoin chart here on the daily. What we can see easily here is that we have fallen again below on the daily, again below that yellow box here, which is the resistance zone through which we need to get to make sure that we mark a new high here compared to that high that we marked on the 17th or was it the 18th of September, that 48.8k level. Yesterday, when I did the member live stream yesterday evening UK time, we actually had that pump here. It was really exciting to watch. But I did say, to be on the safe side, we actually need to wait until the daily candle closes or the 4 hour. I think the 4 hour actually closed, but the daily obviously it didn't. And the daily is more important, which means that we're back in the game. We're back down here, back just another higher low again, a lower high again. So we haven't yet marked that new high above the high that we marked on the 18th of September. That means we might still be in that corrective move here. It's remaining very exciting. A lot of sellers in the market, a lot of buyers, a lot of indecision. And we're going to take a look at that in the closer going to take a look at that in a shorter time frame. However, the indicators are looking better and better. We made a we marked a cross of the zero line yesterday on the MACD line, which is actually a buy signal. Then we are still in the bullish range on the RSI on the daily for Bitcoin, and we also we have a long signal of the ADX, the trend indicator as well, where the green line here is above the red line. Now, before we go to Cardano, let me take a final look on the hourly chart. What we can see here, if we make that a little bit smaller, that as we said on this channel, we formed that triangle yesterday. Just before we headed to the apex, we actually broke to the upside, and I think the target worked quite well as well. I think would need to check again, but I think I gave you that target. If we just take the length of that, the beginning of that triangle, and we add it to the height of the apex, that worked out perfectly to 49, to that resistance zone here, 49.2. Yeah, so that worked out perfectly, but it was really just a fake out. You can see that on the hourly chart that we came up here, the hourly closed there. I was quite happy when I saw that at least the hourly closed there, but then I told the guys in the live stream it was still that we need to wait for a 4 hour close. And actually, as it happened, the 4 hour closed as well, but the 4 hour just closed at 48.8, and I would need to go back to the 18th of September to see if that was actually a little bit higher, the body of on the 18th of September, but in the end it doesn't matter because the daily didn't close. It was just a fake out, and you could already tell by looking at the price action here that throughout that 4 hour candle we had such a long wick occurring, and such a long wick oftentimes is an indicator that there is rejection, that the buyers are not ready yet. So yeah, that was pushed to the downside, and we now seem to have found again support here. We can find that, and we can see that we are marking still higher lows. So again, another triangle potentially forming here, pattern over pattern forming at the moment. A lot of indecision in the market, lots of ups and downs, and yeah, I think there are enough buyers in the market. You can see that a lot of buyers in the market, but the market or the buyers were just not ready yet. So let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano suffering a little bit after that recent drop that Bitcoin was doing, and we are currently trading again in a triangle. I marked it in orange so you can see it better. We have got that orange triangle within which we are still trading. I put it on the chart at some point yesterday, and we're going to take a closer look at that. Cardano's consolidation still intact. You remember when I said we might still come down to 180 once more, then we pushed up all the way to 230. This scenario is still in play. I don't want to say it will happen 100% because I didn't say that, and it will never happen 100%. We already got to the target level, which was that 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level at 189, 190. But you know, it's still in play because we haven't come down to the golden pocket on the daily, and we're going to take a look at that in a minute. But here the indicators for Cardano are starting to look better. I think that is definitely a good sign. You know, we've got the MACD getting into the green now. However, we haven't marked a cross of the zero line as Bitcoin has done now, but it is following Bitcoin. We can see that the indicators were just looking a little bit worse in the last few days than Bitcoin, but Cardano is oftentimes a little bit behind behind Ethereum and behind Bitcoin, which is why we have to catch up a little bit. So there is hope that we catch up and then see a push to the upside. Here on the RSI as well, we can see still in the bearish range, as Bitcoin was as well. Back here you can see that Bitcoin was still in the bearish range. If I move that up, that's the MACD. And you just need to go back to the daily. There you go, Bitcoin was in the bearish range as well, very much like Cardano is now. We marked one low, then a higher low, and whereas Cardano now, we had a low and a higher low. So we're just at this tipping point where we need to push above 50 to make sure that we get to the into the bullish range. And on the ADX as well, we can see that we still have a short signal, as Bitcoin had a week ago or so as well. So hopefully Cardano will catch up. However, it just lost 3%, so on its way down again. But as I said, this triangle here is possibly what we are trading within, and then we will come into the apex and see another breakout. That breakout, however, if we say, okay, that is a triangle, we take a look from when it started, that could really push us. If it breaks to the upside, that could actually push us to that 265 level that I said we need to get above, which is this one. These are the candles which closed here on the 12th of September. This is the A, B, C correction. This is the B wave when it was finished. So we need to get above that to really finish our corrective movement to the downside. However, should we push to the downside of that triangle, now that could really push us to that area that I said we could be getting to 180 or lower. That'd be interesting, and it would also be at the same level where we currently have the 200-day moving average sitting, so that would match quite well. I'm not saying it has to happen to the downside, but it still is what, based on the Elliott Wave method, would be expected. So let's take a look at the hourly chart before we go to the Elliott Waves, just to remind ourselves of where we are. Here on the hourly chart, you can see very clearly that we are trading. We try to get through this resistance zone as well, very similar to Bitcoin. Bounced off, now on our way down again, making a new low here. So potentially we could get down to that lower end to even at some point, if we continue to trade in that triangle, at some point to $2.07, $2.08, you know, and then we might continue to trade in this apex. And when that breakout happens, it could push us to that price level that we've just seen. So just have a bit of patience. I mean, of course, you guys don't want to see a price down. I know some of you want to buy cheaper, but most people want to see a price push to at least the 265 level, which is fine, which I'd be happy with as well. We can see here on the daily, the indicators looking quite negative. Oops, but that is only because we were getting here, I think, into the overbought range here on the RSI, on the hourly chart. So we had that correction coming, dropped actually below 50, now in oversold territory. So actually we can expect possibly from here another push to the upside here on the hourly. Maybe now, possibly instead of going down, we have probably some scope to go up to 230 again, because we are now oversold. So it's just that we have to expect a sort of consolidation, which is normal after that push to the downside here yesterday of 3%. You know, when we get into the oversold range on the hourly, you can see that here, we have to expect a move to the upside, and it has already started. Now that can only be a small one. Don't be surprised if it's not much, because it's only on the hourly. And also we can see that downtrend here giving us a short signal on the 1 hour chart for Cardano. That's just how it is at the moment. You know, we have failed. In summary, we have failed to break to the upside. We were all quite happy yesterday, especially with Bitcoin, but Cardano didn't see much movement when Bitcoin broke out. I think Cardano waited to see if it was just a fake breakout for Bitcoin, and indeed it was a fake breakout, which then led Cardano down further, making lower highs here still. Same with Bitcoin, making lower highs at the moment. So just with the exception of that long wick here, but it's still just another lower high. So no reason for, getting all positive and bullish again and rushing in, running on the FOMO train, because that is possibly what happened yesterday with many people. We broke that level. People are afraid of getting in too late, so they jump on the train when they see the 48.8 broken. But many professional traders know that, so they will shake people out again, activate stop losses, by bringing the price lower again. But it's actually a good indication. If something like that happens, it could mean that we have enough buyers in the market. It's just not ready yet. And that might have just been a bit of manipulation, pushing the price down again, shaking some of the weak hands out before then at some point we are pushing to the upside. So it's a possibility either way at the moment. Nobody knows. It's just to be aware of what is happening in the chart and to get an understanding. Here on the Elliott Wave chart that we've got here, Binance chart, we can see that with Cardano, mark that A, B, and C correction. Based on Elliott, that would be the completion of the correction here. We came into the target range based on the Elliott Wave method already. We didn't come down far enough in my view. I would love to have seen us getting to the golden pocket, the $1.81. That is what normally would be expected, and I still think, as long as we haven't pushed to these prices up here, that it is still a valid scenario that we come down once more. It's not over yet. To be honest, with Cardano, we haven't really pushed much higher. We haven't actually pushed higher than 230 in the last few days, so it is still a valid scenario that we come down once more. I'd be actually more happy to push to the upside. You know that Cardano is my biggest holding, so it remains very exciting, and I will definitely keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button, and if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.